President-elect Donald Trump has been quickly filling high-profile positions in his cabinet. His pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. While he's a decorated military veteran, questions have been raised about his level of experience and some comments he's made about policies he believes the armed forces should remove. ABC's Stephanie Ramos, who served in the Iraq War, has more on what the Pentagon could look like under Hegseth's leadership.
Big changes possibly on the way for the Department of Defense now that President-elect Donald Trump has chosen Fox News host and Army veteran Pete Hegseth to lead the department.
And this unleashes the opportunity for real American-led, America-first foreign policy.
44-year-old Hegseth is a former major in the Army National Guard, a veteran of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, but also a prominent conservative voice in media.
In the military, our diversity is not our strength. Our unity is our strength.
One of Hegseth's major talking points, he says it's time to clean house at the Pentagon.
It's got the largest budget of any agency in the federal government, an incredibly large workforce, both uniformed and, federal employees. This is quite the promotion for somebody who has most recently, just been a host on a TV show.
The U.S. military, as well as the CIA, or the FBI, should be completely apolitical. That is what I think the U.S. citizen demands, and I think that is what they have, and it needs to remain that way.
In his latest book, Hegseth criticizes what he calls woke leadership in the military, arguing that efforts to promote diversity and inclusion have weakened the armed forces. In a recent interview on the Sean Ryan Show podcast, Hegseth has strong opinions on the place of women in combat.
Because I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles. It hasn't made us more effective, hasn't made us more lethal, has made fighting more complicated.
He believes those policies are undermining readiness and morale, and he's been sharply critical of transgender service members. Hegseth writes, the next commander-in-chief will need to clean house and says the military is driving away potential recruits, particularly what he refers to as America's white sons and daughters. Hegseth has also made it clear that he opposes allowing women to serve on the front lines, saying it complicates combat situations and reduces military effectiveness.
What do you think when you hear these remarks by someone who's nominated to be the defense secretary?
Such outdated views as to not allowing women to serve in whatever ways that they want to serve their country. And by the way, they're volunteering to serve their country. We shouldn't apply restrictions on that if they are capable and qualified to serve in combat roles.
In 2022, the Army updated qualifications for its basic physical fitness test, allowing more women and older soldiers to pass. The basic fitness test, though, did not result in more women or others passing in greater numbers. And the test is still up for debate in Congress.
We've changed the standards in putting them there, which means you've changed the capability of that unit. And if you say you haven't, you're a liar.
But what hasn't changed is the gender-neutral, rigorous tests that women must pass to become Green Berets, Army Rangers, and Navy Special Warfare Operators. Women account for nearly a fifth of active duty military personnel. That's nearly 230,000 serving for the United States at home and abroad. Just today, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin defended the DoD's commitment to women in the military.
I think our women add significant value to the United States military, and we should never change that.
Father of 7 and recently married to his third wife, Hegseth's personal life has also been the center of controversy. His attorney confirmed with ABC News that Hegseth paid a woman who accused him of sexual assault, settling for an undisclosed amount. A police report was filed days after the alleged assault, but Hegseth was never charged. In a statement to ABC News, Hegseth's lawyer says, knowing that it was the height of the Me Too movement and any public accusation would result in his immediate termination from Fox, Mr. Hegseth ultimately decided to enter into a settlement for a significantly reduced amount.
We call ourselves conservatives, but what are we really? We're freedom lovers.
Hegseth's nomination signals that Trump may take a more traditionalist and hardline approach to military leadership in his next administration.
The military brass that led these absurd and insulting initiatives will likewise be removed, and They will no longer be in command. They're going to be gone so fast.
Hegseth has signaled his possible international policy, calling institutions like the United Nations a farce. Speaking on the Man of War podcast, he said the military under Trump was more effective.
They knew he meant business. Kim Jong-un, even though it didn't work, knew Trump meant business.
Yes.
Fire and fury was a real thing. Uncertainty is a real thing. The real threat of violence is a real thing. And none of that exists under these globalists who think they can sanction their way.
The Pentagon is bracing for sweeping policy changes under the incoming Trump administration, including a review board who will have the power to remove top brass, undoing DEI accommodations and training within the military. While some may raise questions about whether Hegseth has the experience to lead such a large organization, he does know what it's like to be in the military theater.
Pete Hegseth is a combat veteran. So he served in Iraq, he served in Afghanistan, he has 2 Bronze Stars, and that's significant because not everybody making significant policy decisions in Washington has that experience.
But his views, particularly on diversity and inclusion, are considered by some to be dangerous and will likely lead to debates during his confirmation on Capitol Hill and beyond.
The last thing we need to do is be turning off any able-bodied American who wants to raise their hand and volunteer to serve in uniform, as long as we want to continue to fight our wars with all volunteers. It is not just a people issue at that point, it's a national security issue.
Our thanks to Stephanie Ramos with that.